Alright, this is 77 WABC, the Curtis Sliwa Show. It's 4:30 a.m. in the morning, and there's a new report out today that the secretary of Bill Clinton's Whitewater partners may have lied on the stand, that there might be charges coming up against her and some of her other partners in the Rose law firm. As you know, lying is nothing new to the guardian angels. We used to lie all the time about our exploits, augmenting and proliferizing our daring do, our moving and grooving. That was back when moving and grooving gave way to slamming and whacking. Remember those days in the black community when moving and grooving suddenly turned into cracking and whacking, when the entire city seemed to be on crack, when the crack dealers were so thick you'd have to hire a homeless guy to wash them off your windshield to get across the street practically. At 77 WABC, what do you want these days now? You practically got Tawana Brawley and Louis Farrakhan as head of B'nai B'rith. Coming up soon, a traffic report from Joe Nolan in the traffic copter. Of course, there's nobody on the street, so it must be an easy job. Not like me, Curtis Sliwa, who is up 24 hours a day, slamming and whacking with the guardian angels during the day, and lipping and gripping with WABC here at night and during all my other fill-in slots.
Curtis, there's a report out of Atlanta that another plastic explosive device has gone off, this time in the bathroom of an airport terminal. There are several injuries reported.
Oofa! It must have been one of those Iranian terrorists, one of those 14-year-old suicide bombers, the kind that want to get straight to heaven, do not pass go, do not collect $200, go straight to Allah.
Well, Curtis, there's a report on the wire that the phone call that was made to 911 sounded like a white American male with a speech impediment.
Speculating to kill time is what we do best here at 77 WABC at 5:02 at the Curtis Sliwa Show. Coming up next, Lionel, but first, do you suffer from back pain, gallstones, or stomach cancer, but you're worried you're not going to be able to make the hospital payments? Physicians Healthcare Services, a Medicare trend.
We'll get more information on that when we can.
Support the American. That's the American way.
This is 710 WOR, and this is the Barry Gray Show. You know, I was driving around in my car, and I had the radio on, and I was listening to a radio station, not this one, I might add. And I heard the disc jockey use the word fart. Now, to this day, I cringe when I say that word because for many, many years, I wasn't allowed to say that. In fact, we had a list of about 170 words that we weren't allowed to say on the air, some of which were articles of speech. Now, everyone knows that I'm a libertarian. I am a free speech advocate. But you know, I got to thinking, just because we can do something, does it really mean that we have to do it? And I realize that there are a lot of people out there who are going to consider me a fuss budget. That was the word about 100 years ago when I was young. That was the word we used to describe people that we thought were not contemporary, who were not hip, quote unquote. Well, maybe I am a fuss budget, and if I am, so be it. Well, I'm sorry, I just don't think that's appropriate language for a broadcaster to use. And I just think that if you don't have the imagination to do a radio program as interesting as ours, without having to step into the gutter, then I'm sorry, that's not imaginative. And I don't care what the ratings say. Believe it or not, there are some things in life more important than ratings. Not many things, but there are some things. Hey look, maybe I'm showing my age here. And maybe I'm just out of step with the times that we're living in. This is 710 WOR. A station of fucking cheapskate radio programmers, asshole executives, and bitchy, cunty secretaries.
July 6th. Yes, I was a sinner, and I was sitting there naked on the bed, and I was in a really lousy hotel with bad accommodations, and then I was keeping naked, and then I saw Jesus standing over me. Hallelujah. I thought, Jesus standing over me before nobody had bent me over. Then he took the bath and he put it on my hole. And he said, I have Lord, I'll come into you. And he entered me on the hand. And Jesus, and suddenly I realized that the Lord was in me. Hallelujah. Can somebody say, Mugugape? Then he started walking me, he started rocking and rolling me, and started moving me because the Lord was in me. And he had a big one. Oh, yes, yes, sir. Then he kept pushing it in, pushing it out, and pushing it in, and pushing it out for the Lord had come. Oh, and it felt so good because the Lord's spunk was in me. Oh, hallelujah. Oh, it felt so good. And then Jesus lit a cigarette, and I said, I will not fraternize with persons of ill repute, for the Lord is in me. I'm the Lord's bitch now. Can somebody say, overwrought?
Is more, but nowadays.
Support the Americans. That's the American way.
This is Bob Grant, and let's be heard. I have told you before that we are slipping and sliding toward third worldism, and despite the efforts of many, perhaps, it is a fait accompli. Tony, you're on the air.
Yeah, Bob, how are you doing?
What's on your mind, Tony?
Yeah, Mr. Grant, I just want to say that, things are going down the toilet, and I don't know what's going to happen. Things are different now, in this small town that I grew up in, nobody ever locked the doors. They didn't have to. Everybody trusted each other, And when we drove around, we left the keys in the car, We didn't even think twice about it. Nobody took the cars or anything, And things are different today, I remember people used to walk around, daytime or the evening. They'd walk around, they carried their cash in large denominations in clear plastic bags, and they'd walk to and from the bank like that, and nobody ever bothered us, nobody robbed us or anything, and now you can't do that. And I remember also, in the summertime, we had a grown up, we're a hard-working family, and we didn't have air conditioning, and I remember, my sister, she could sleep out, she would just wear her evening gown, or something, and then she'd sleep out on the lawn, the front lawn, with her legs spread wide open. And nobody ever bothered her, nobody tried to rape her, nobody tried to mess with her, and now you can't do that, People are locking their doors to stay at home. They're afraid to go out at night. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Well, Tony, despite an obvious generational and IQ difference between the two of us, perhaps both of us belong to a time that is perhaps past. Perhaps that we are anachronisms, because the streets are now running with mutants, and programs such as Aid to Families with Despicable Children have rendered our streets full of savages. Yes, Tony, that America, the America where people could leave their doors open, where people could trust their neighbors, when people could walk around with clear plastic bags with large denominations of cash, that neighborhood where you could sleep in the nude with your legs spread wide open, that America that you and I knew, Tony, is as with Nineveh and Tyre. It is as with Tyrannosaurus and the dodo bird.
I don't follow.
It's gone, Tony. It is past. It is behind us.
Thank you, Mr. Grant.
Thanks for calling, Tony.
Support the American. That's the American way.
Forging a ever more irrelevant distinction between the wafer-thin lines of Republican and Democrat, I am Rush Limbaugh. My friends, I don't have to tell you that today is Veterans Day, and this just in from the AP Newswire, liberal Congressman Gary Ackerman was quoted joking to Senator John McCain today. What he said basically was that it should be easy to get a parking space downtown because the Veterans Day parade is happening there. Meaning that he means the place is going to be empty because nobody goes to the parade anymore. Ha ha ha. Well, let me tell you something, Congressman Ackerman. Although a cyst on my buttocks prevented me from joining my friend John McCain in a North Vietnamese torture box, the nation is grateful for his service. And it's liberals who don't attend Veterans Day parades and instead spend the day smoking pot and listening to 8-track tapes of Moby Grape. And that's wrong, people. It's wrong not to honor the men who didn't have debilitating cysts on their buttocks who fought and died for this country. And I realize that some of you conservatives out there aren't going to the parade either. I realize that a lot of you small businessmen out there have to go into work today. You have to go in to pay the taxes for the food stamps and the outdated fluoridation systems and dirty art and aid to the poor and 1,000 other things. But I know that you people out there will spend at least one moment in silent honor for the men and women who have fought and died for this country, and it's liberals out there who go gallivanting out on paid holiday from their cushy jobs and university government jobs, and that's what's wrong, my friends. So joke all you want to. Joke all you want to John McCain. But how long could you have survived hot bamboo shoot nipple torture, Congressman Ackerman? Back after this with your phone calls.
77 WABC.
A rush to the bathroom provides inspiration. You people out there may want to take this opportunity to order our new series of Rush ties. We have brand new distinctive patterns. Actually, it's an interesting story how this new line of ties were conceived. Marta and I were returning from a 7-course meal at Patsy's, and the ravages of a stomach virus came to the forefront, and before I could rush to privacy, the results landed on the floor of our luxury penthouse. Now, since I'm not the visual artist of the household, I took the results for what I thought it was, garbage, and got out the 409. However, Marta was staring intensely at the puddle, and I thought to myself, I know she's in love with the bile that I spew every day, but this was getting a bit ridiculous. But she said, wait, let me get my camera. I have an idea, and it was there and then, my friends, that the Rush Tie series of throw-up patterns was born. Now, for a limited time, you can receive the decorative results of my overindulgence at 7 major restaurants. You'll get the Sparks Steakhouse pattern, the sweet and sour pork from Harry Wong's, and of course the all-you-can-eat buffet at Patsy's. From my mouth to your chest, the Rush Ties series of throw-up patterns is the perfect item to spend your capital gains on. Look for us at the web at www.rushties.com.
Support the American. That's the American way.
More now. Now. PL more now.
Down. 2-3.
LJ
290
now. More
90. Broadcasting. 290.
LJ
the Elks Club, helping the worthy cause. Support the American Legion. That's the American way.
You're sitting where the fun is.
Radio means entertainment.